You know, Chris, so many people want to have a lake life. They're coming from other areas that have it, but all lake life isn't the same, even here in Tennessee.
Yeah.
You know, some people want, I don't know, a fishing pole, sit on their back deck and really not see the world.
Yep.
And then some want more of this type of thing, where you go to the marina, you hang out at the marina with friends.
Yeah.
There's two different ways of living the life here, right?
Yeah.
There's two different ways of living the life here, right?
So Nashville and surrounding areas really have two lakes here. Percy, which is a reservoir, and then Old Hickory Lake, which is the Cumberland River, which everybody knows flowing through the middle of downtown.
Yes.
And they're very different. You've got Old Hickory where we are now. You've got Mount Juliet, Gallatin, Hendersonville, Lebanon, and they're all a little bit different from each other. They're all kind of unique.
All offer different type of lifestyle, different price point of homes, different amenities of other things to do around them.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
So we are here at Sam's at Blue Turtle Bay, which is a marina, restaurant, floating docks and floating restaurant. Great place. Summertime is amazing. It's packed here. And so we're on Old Hickory right now. So we are on the north side. So from where we're sitting, so right in front of us, we can see Mount Juliet. We're in Old Hickory. If you keep going down past Mount Juliet, you get to Lebanon. Right across, I'm looking right across the lake, that's Hendersonville. So it used to be a 10-minute commute to Hendersonville. Now it's 45.
I'm often asked that, how far is Hendersonville from? I said, it depends on where you are in the peninsula, first of all.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at I think that's Sanders Bait over there. So yeah, it's kind of crazy how close you are, but how far you are. But this is one of the restaurants. There's several restaurants on the lake. It's very different from Percy because Percy is a great lake to boat on, but you can't live on it. So no docks. You can live right near it, but it's all core property around. So you can have access to it, but no houses.
Got it. So while we're here enjoying this beautiful October day, so it's right after Labor Day, it's closed down, it's slowed down a little bit on the water.
It has.
But while we're here, why don't we talk about the 5 different actual communities?
Okay.
Tell a little about each one so that people can determine which one might be the best fit for them. And be sure to stick around because we're going to show you a home if you want just a luxury lifestyle right here at the lake, but also backing up to a state park. We've got a house that you've got to see.
So we're about 20 minutes from downtown Nashville here in Old Hickory. We're probably 10 or 12 minutes from the airport, which you might hear a plane or two going over. So this is an older community, so a lot of remodeled homes. There are homes with docks and amazing views of the main channel. And then just in front of us here in the video, we are just a few minutes, probably 7 or 8 minutes from Mount Juliet. And there you're going to get homes that are newer construction, larger lots. If you're looking for a lake lot with a dock, you're probably looking at 1.2 and up. Continue on past Mount Juliet. Lebanon has lake homes, and you're going to get a little bit, either a larger lot or just a little bit better price because you're getting further away. You're still only 25-30 minutes to the airport. And then across the lake is Hendersonville and also Gallatin. So one of the unique things about Hendersonville is you do see a lot of lake lots there that are very flat, general slopes to the lake, but those also come with a price because that's what everybody wants. They want to be able to walk down to their dock and not have steps down a steep cliff. And
you can keep your boat in your backyard.
Absolutely.
But you're going to easily start over $1 million, right?
Yeah, $1 million, $3 million, for something that's been updated.
So when we're looking at the price of homes, so many things go into that. The degree of updates, the size of the lots, whether it's on the water, near the water, also the school districts. Kind of give a comparison between the cities for that.
So Old Hickory, we are in Davidson County, so we're right on the edge of Davidson County. So your Davidson County schools there, and the houses here tend to be a little bit smaller just because it is an older developed area. Just down the way, Mount Juliet and Lebanon, your Wilson County school districts there, and then Hendersonville and Gallatin are both Sumner County.
Right. So we've got 3 different counties in which you can have a lake life. And as always, be sure to check out greatschools.org. As you know, that's not something we as realtors can talk about. We can just point out where they are and you can do your own research. Let's talk about kind of the vibe of each area because they are still very different in feeling.
They are. I think we've done several videos in Mount Juliet and Lebanon. It's definitely more suburban. Old Hickory is a little more unique just because you almost get a little bit of that East Nashville feel, a little bit of a downtown, but you're still close to getting out of the city. They don't have a ton of shopping here, but you're really close to everything in Hermitage.
So if you live in Old Hickory, you're probably doing your basic day-to-day, most of your day-to-day shopping in
the Hermitage area.
In Hermitage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
okay.
Hermitage runs right into Mount Juliet. So you're close to everything, and you've got easy access to the interstate. You're from here probably 10 minutes back to the interstate. So you hop on 40, and there's multiple ways downtown. So it's still a super easy commute if you want to enjoy downtown Nashville.
Right. Okay, so let's compare Mount Juliet. If you live in Mount Juliet, where you're doing your daily shopping?
In Mount Juliet, so it's got all the north and south side both have all the amenities you need. The new Sprouts that we talked about in some of the other videos just opened yesterday finally. You've got Providence. It's amazing how many people ask for Costco and Trader Joe's, you know. But
they do.
We got Sprouts, and we've got Costco, we got BJ's, Walmart, Lowe's, all the things. And there's plenty of places, with that comes a little bit of traffic. But we do have everything that we need there, and you've got the schools that a lot of people want and lots of new construction available.
That's a good point. For someone who wants new construction, which of these areas are the most likely to find? And larger lots. And that's the bigger part, right?
Larger lots. So the new construction is going to be not in Old Hickory. So everything pretty much here is going to be, if it's new construction, it's probably a townhome or just a single tear down.
Okay.
Whereas you go to Mount Juliet, you've got subdivisions that we've been to before and some nice lot sizes, and then
more of the
Gallatin.
Lifestyle community. The entire community is coming in. They got sidewalks, underground utilities, smaller lots, but the easy convenience.
Exactly. So now those communities are not going to be on the lake, the ones that we've seen, but there are communities on the lake where you can, typically it's, maybe it's 4 or 5 homes being built. The builder comes in and snatches up a few lots, but you don't get the big, huge lifestyle community on the lake. The lake is the lifestyle.
The lake is the lifestyle. That's it.
Yeah.
That makes good sense. Well, let's talk about Gallatin. We haven't talked anything about Gallatin. So that's a little bit further distance of a drive.
Yeah, it is. It's located just east of Hendersonville. So Hendersonville runs into Gallatin, and then your access is down Route 109 back to 40. So it's still a pretty easy commute. Like if you're going to the airport or downtown, you're maybe 40 minutes.
I'd say 45 minutes to downtown Nashville.
Yeah. Okay. So it's definitely growing. There's lots of land out there. So prices are a little bit lower.
It's very pretty. There's some areas
really
of it that is really beautiful. What about the shopping? What about the day-to-day things that are there?
They've actually gotten a lot of shopping in there. They redid their downtown little town square area. It's probably the closest thing I've seen to what people see in Franklin. Just much smaller, but you've got coffee shops, boutiques, and restaurants and that kind of thing.
The cute little town where you go to the restaurant and you see your friends where you weren't planning to, but you see people that you know. And that Nashville, having grown up here, Nashville's not at all that way. No. It used to be that anywhere you went, you knew people where you went. Now it's not at all that way.
Yeah.
And I'm finding a lot of people who are actually from here say they miss it. They're not leaving Nashville, but they are leaving the community to go into another one that was smaller, that feels more like the 80s, 90s.
Yep, for sure.
So
and one thing I'm thinking about, one thing that people say when they come, they have to realize when you come to the lake, you can't move the lake. So the house is where it is, and a lot of people go to a lake house, a $1.5 million lake house, and they like, wow, we drove past some very small old things. Like, well, those people have been here for 50 years.
Good point. Yeah, that's a good point.
It's not like you can say, well, let me go find something where that isn't.
I want to be only in a neighborhood of million-plus homes just like mine.
Yeah.
Because that's a good point.
And you may find that when you get there, but you're going to drive past some older properties to get to the lake.
You know what? There's rich that you see, and there's rich that you don't. And they got
That's
a lot of money in there.
That's
They got a lot of money in their dirt.
Yeah.
They just can't go anywhere because they don't want to leave the lifestyle that allows them to be there.
Well, there's probably a good chance that they owned the property that those $1.5 million houses are on.
That's true too. That's totally true too. Let's talk about it. If you have a boat and you want to move to Nashville, you come from a boating kind of situation. Tell me, how likely is somebody if they have a large houseboat, say?
So the larger slips are definitely, the larger covered slips are definitely harder to get. There's waiting lists for those. We're looking at some houseboats here. They're probably in the 50, 60 foot range. And a lot of times, it's better to buy a boat with a slip. That's an easy way to get a slip sometimes. if you have a ski boat, a wake boat, the boathouse in Mount Juliet, there's some in Hendersonville. They're a little bit easier.
Okay.
Just because they'll store your
You
boat
can take
for
it
you.
off. You can take it out of the water and store it.
You take it out, or
the
you
season.
can leave it there. They'll put it in the water and take it out for you. You just call ahead.
Okay.
But yeah, places like this marina are a little bit tougher just because there's just too many boats here.
There's a long waiting list.
Yeah.
So you're telling me buy the boat that comes with the slip,
Yeah, a lot of
rather than
times.
bring your own.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes sense. Now, we do have other lakes around Middle Tennessee, too. Quite a few. Tim's Ford is a beautiful lake. But
It is.
we're just trying to talk about things that are close enough into Nashville that allows you, say, less than an hour with bad traffic, an hour commute into downtown Nashville for the things that you want to go to in downtown Nashville. But really, if you have the lake life, you aren't going a whole lot downtown unless you happen to work there.
Yeah,
Right?
that's true. A lot of people just hang out. I would work from here.
I was
like
going
you
to
were
say,
saying.
this is
This
exactly
great-
where I would come and work every single day and go get some lunch over here at the
Yeah.
at the restaurant and bring it over here and do some work. And it's a good
Yeah.
way. That's good on your blood
That's
pressure.
a good lifestyle. That's right. Yeah.
Perfect lifestyle. Well, we have a listing that is sold, but I want you to see, if you want that really special house, we can find those for you. And this is a beautiful house that's right next to Long Hunter State Park, is what part of it backs up to.
Yep.
And then you can see from the second story, you can see water from the drone area.
And you have your lot, that extra land that touches the core property. So it's an amazing property. I
Looking
say.
for deer in your backyard every afternoon and turkeys and the wildlife. We have those places for you, even though you think of Nashville as being a big, busy, downtown, bustling area. So, Chris, one thing I like to say is there's a place in Nashville for everybody, but every place is not right for everybody.
Yeah.
Which is one reason it's so important to have that 30-minute phone call with us. Let's talk about what it is that you're looking for in a new community in Nashville. But I'm super excited to be able to share some different homes. You were telling me another listing that you've got. I've seen it in pictures and it's stupendous.
Yeah, it's beautiful, and it's in an area not far from where we're going to go, Saleview. And people tell me that, hey, I've lived in Nashville 30 years, or I've grown up here. I had no idea this neighborhood was here. It's tucked away right next to the lake.
Yeah.
And it's an amazing property. So there's a lot of little pockets like that.
Well, there is a lot of pockets like that all over the area because I grew up in right the Williamson-Davidson County line, kind of south. So I'm not a lake life person. And I could throw a dart to know where Hermitage was and Mount Juliet was, but until I actually started really working it with real estate, you don't realize they each have a flavor and a lifestyle of their own, and everything has some great promise.
Yeah.
Just depends on what you want.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Everyone's
Well, let's go
unique.
take a look at that house. So, which of these lake communities feels like you? Whether it is the convenience of Hermitage, the family-focused energy of Mount Juliet, the established lake life of Hendersonville, With the space and charm of Gallatin, there's a lake town near Nashville for every kind of lifestyle and budget. If you're dreaming of lake living in Middle Tennessee and you want to figure out which area fits your family best, let's talk. You can grab my free Nashville relocation guide below, or just click the link and schedule a quick time for us to chat. I love helping folks like you find their perfect corner of Tennessee. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you next week. So, is their boat more expensive than their house?
If it bought new, yes.
How long ago was that?
So they got a 2012. What Jerry's had boats all